Jag sitter här i Tammerfors, Finland, på Musik och Media 2012. En hel del folk samlas här, inte bara från Finland, även från USA, Kanada, England och även från grannen i öster, från Ryssland. Och med mig här Vladimir, what was your last name again?
Kravchenko.
Kravchenko, okay. It's a bit hard for me, sorry.
It's Ukrainian, actually.
Oh really? Okay, so your family is from there maybe?
Well, it's all mixed because my grandfather was from Ukraine and my other grandfather was, from Siberia. It's all mixed,
But you live in St. Petersburg and you're active in St. Petersburg.
Yeah, that's right.
And I read something about you organizing like 800 gigs or something like that?
Well, we do a lot of gigs always because we work as an agency and a record label too since '99.
Yeah.
So we did a lot of club shows and were involved in many festivals in Russia and with our bands and promoting different festivals from Finland too.
How is it with Finnish music in Russia? Does it sell well or?
Well, in general, music in Russia doesn't sell well anyway. It's all you can all download it for free. That's the main difference that we have, just in the whole country, because that's the loss we have, and you can download everything. We have no sales at all. About Finnish music, of course, I must say that Russian audience loves Finnish music a lot. That's true because it's really qualitative, even pop music.
How about live then? I guess some Finnish bands come and play live. Also, have you organized anything?
Yeah, we did many Finnish acts in St. Petersburg and Moscow, mostly underground bands, rock bands, and sometimes we do some really famous. Last year we did, for example, 22 Pistipirka show in St. Petersburg. So always working with something interesting and trying to make an exchange, split gigs and stuff like that. So it works a lot, and we can promote new names too. So we have our own media, some online radios, magazines, social media.
As you probably know, the whole sphere of Russian music and the Russian music scene is sort of unknown, at least in Sweden. I haven't lived in Finland for 3 years, but I guess it's still the same, that people just don't know that much about the Russian music scene. Have you tried to sell the Russian music abroad, or is it only viable in Russia? Or
it's a problem of agencies actually. We need to find really good, interesting agents to promote, to be interested in promoting Russian music, because we have really good qualitative bands that singing in English and playing really qualitative on international level. So we started in Finland, and we had some really good examples. For example, we brought some of our bands to festivals like Losari Rock or Tuska Festival. So we have, for example, one of our bands is Everything is Made in China that we work with. They played on Losari and it has really huge success here.
Okay.
We have really qualitative music, and now, as I know, for example, at least 5 bands tour in Europe right now at the moment, so it works on some different level, and I know that many agencies that work with heavy music, for example, they pay more attention nowadays to Russian metal scene, because we have a band called Korea, for example. They just signed a deal with some American label. I don't remember the name. And some bands played at Wacken Festival or Tuska again. So it's not so famous still, but we're working on this anyway.
What would you say, in Finland, metal music and hip hop is quite big, if you look at the charts. In Sweden it's heavily pop music. What about Russia?
Hip hop is on the top nowadays. Yes, of course.
Really?
Yes, it's Russian hip hop. I mean,
Okay.
a really huge Russian hip hop scene, but I must say it's not so. It's not international. It's just local Russian music scene.
Yeah.
I mean, I have, of course, a lot of rock fans. As our agency, we work mostly with rock music and metal too. So it's also a huge.
Yeah.
For example, you can do a big tour for bands like Sepultura, for example. You can do a big tour in Russia for 10 cities at least. So it works good.
When I think about bands from Russia that I know, okay, the first that comes to mind that was probably one of the first successes was Tatu, right?
All right, yeah.
And then we have, of course, the Eurovision winner. What was his name?
Dima Bilan, right?
Yeah, Dima Bilan. That's him. Yeah, right.
Did I say it? Did I say it?
Yes, you did. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that.
I never pronounced that name, really.
Oh, I thought you didn't like his music. Okay. Anyway, but then the latest name to come out of Russia, as in Western ears, which like we know, is Pussy Riot. Does Pussy Riot have any impact at all on the Russian music scene?
Not at all. It's not about the music, actually. If we speak about it clearly, it's a political act, and that's it. And now it's a world trademark already. It's not. There's nothing about the music, actually. It's not even punk music. I don't know. It's a scandal, and in any scandal, you have both sides involved, and they wrong. Absolutely. I don't support any of these sites because it's a stupid situation, but it has a worldwide impact, of course. Nothing about music. It's all about mass media wars, and don't believe what you read actually on newspapers on the web, because it's all just good good thing to discuss, good thing to write about. Of course, it's a scandal.
Yeah.
But it doesn't say that you must support someone. I don't know. As for me, when I see in foreign bands, or I don't know, people like Paul McCartney, or speaking about it and supporting this, they actually don't know what they support, because there's different background about this act. I mean, not even the thing that they do in the church, but the thing they did before. There's nothing about music, There's nothing about human rights here. So, for me as a musician, as a promoter, it's a funny, joke about it. It's a good way to promote unknown bands. If you want to be famous in Russia, come out. You can just dance in the church and have promotion. Just 1 or 2 years.
That was like 5 minutes in front of a church, and suddenly they're world renowned.
Yes, that's right. I mean, we actually, okay, that's good thing that we just received a really big attention from the whole world to Russia again. Thanks Pussy Riot for this. I don't support anything that they did, actually, and I don't support our government. It's like I'm doing music business. It's like different.
You're the head of your own music company, right? Record company. Have you had any questions about Russian punk music after this?
No, I'm not. No, but we have really cool punk bands, and DIY scene still lives, still there, and we work with punk rock bands. Some of them are touring still, like Tarakаны, for example, or the Pauki. I don't know, I've been in Prague a couple of years ago, and I've seen their t-shirt in some store,
Yeah.
So it works anyway without any Pussy Riot. So
you haven't thought about using the attention that, well, you might have used it now as we speak, sort of.
If there was no Pussy Riot, we didn't sit here, right?
Exactly.
So, but it's I was expecting these questions when I was coming here again, because even we had a panel today here, and of course this question was done too.
What did I ask there?
Actually, the same. How was reaction? Is it really something special? I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I'm tired, being too much pushed on the I mean, when you come to Facebook, you see, everywhere pussy right, pussy right, pussy right. It's just, I'm tired of this thing actually. And I think it should pass some time and people just will forget it.
We can conclude that Pussy Riot has had no impact on the Russian music scene, or?
What do you mean? How can they make an impact for music? They can't even play music, It's more about mass media, maybe. For mass media. It's an impact for mass media, most of it.
But that's the image over here, that the first image that came out, it was a band, but then later it's an art collective, and then I don't know what it is anymore. But it's apparently not a band as in a traditional band. I guess they don't play music for the music's sake, but they have something else in mind.
That's right. Yes, that's right. The other side of this story is that we have some tours cancelled. I mean, some international acts that support the situation with Pussy Riot. They just cancelled their gigs in Russia because of, they were like, we don't want to play in Russia, in this country that doesn't support any human rights. That's not true. I mean, government of Russia doesn't hear you. I mean, and our fans, the fans of your music, they are not guilty in this situation. You should make different. You should support your fans, and you can come like Fate No More did. I don't know, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Dead Can Dance. They do it on stage, they support, I don't know, with some slogans and stuff. So there's both sides, of course.
I remember that Madonna was in St. Petersburg, and there was talk about someone had heard to cancel the gig, and it was the gay community we talk about now, as St. Petersburg has put into place some sort of rules that you can't talk about this openly, about gay or HBTQ activities, or what do you call them? But Madonna came and she spoke out on stage at the risk of getting penalties because of this. Was that the right way to do it, according to you, or?
You mean from Madonna?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, that's the different story, and of course she's right. Well, recently, for the last couple of years, we have really stupid laws in Russia, and I don't know, just as my opinion, it's it's a political game. You just they do stupid things, stupid laws, just not to pay your attention to really bad economical things that they do inside the Russia. So that's like, how to say it in English. I mean, they just putting your attention away from really serious things.
A diversion.
Yes, it's a diversion, right? So it's kind of, that's real bad. That's the thing you should understand. And actually, there's no cops on streets shooting gays, and arresting them. Yeah. They all still exist and do their own things. There are still gay clubs, and nothing's gone. I mean, it's just the thing for media again. Media worse, and I mean, we don't really when we speak about it, we don't discuss, some situations that they do on the other side. I mean, between different serious political things.
Well, enough about politics.
That's right.
Let's keep that for now. When I was here for the first time last year, I noticed that there are many people from Russia and the Baltic states over here. Then I started wondering, how come? And someone said, and I can't remember who, but someone said, yeah, they don't really have any expos in Russia and the Baltic states, so they come over here to meet. Is there any truth to this?
Well, of course, it's one of the biggest events on Northwest, yes, but we have our own conferences, not so big, but it still exists. For example, as for me, I started our own music conference. It's called Coliseum. in 2007
Yeah.
in St. Petersburg, and now we do it in Moscow for last two years, and it works good. We bring many Finnish delegates too, and it becomes more and more international every year. So it's just a matter of financing from Russian Ministry of Culture and government again, because we still don't have any organizations like Music Finland, for example. It was called Musics before. What we do in Russia, we do ourselves with the help from our colleagues from different agencies, labels, and Finnish people also. So it is, and in Tallinn there is Tallinn Music Week too. So one of the best events. Music and Media is a really old one, and you can find people from anywhere, from China, Japan, anywhere. So it's like was established here like more than 20 years ago. So
Have you networked a lot with there's many from the US, England, as you said, Japan and so on. Do you get any more contacts than just the Finnish ones when you visit here?
yeah, of course. Last year they started a really cool thing, this Asian forum, people from different Asian countries. A lot of new markets, and for us it's also interesting because in China, for example, there's really huge interest for even underground bands. In this case, we're trying to establish new connections, new tours. So yes, it's really interesting.
Now finally, if you'd like to recommend some Russian music, what would you recommend for the Swedish listener mainly? What do you think would work for the Swedish listener?
You mean some names?
Yeah. Something you might give me back home so I can play something.
Well, check out some bands. Everything's Made in China, Seventh Race, Vergeltung, Amatori, what else? My Rockets Up, Theodore Bastard.
What kind of genres are we talking about?
It's all different, from trip hop to metal, and there's one of my favorite bands, Messerchups. They're touring Europe for many years already, and check out if you like some surf music, horror surf.
Okay.
Yeah, and so many different. I mean, I just speak about this English singing artists that trying to make it on international level. Of course, we do have really good electronics too, techno. I don't know, dubstep artists. So
and I think Russia has a really active dance scene, right?
Well, dance, you mean pop music?
Yeah, or electronic dance music, because I've seen many Russian DJs on a Swedish label called Makerais in Sweden. I've seen they have lots of Finns there as well, but they have lots of Russian or Eastern European overall DJs on their roster. So I guess I don't know if you're familiar with that scene.
A little bit, because I'm a big fan of electronic music too. So it's just lives its own life, because they find each other different levels, and they don't need even this kind of conventions, so they can just chat on the web with each other, and I like the track, let's do it. Okay. Yeah, and that's electronic scene is huge everywhere.
Okay, thank you Vladimir Kravchenko for this, and I wish you a pleasant stay in Tampere. Det här är Christian Bertell för Musikgarden i P3 i Tammerfors.